I got my tea. Hello, welcome. My name is Ella. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about how you can become a Wiccan. And now I'm specifically saying Wiccan instead of saying witch because of the differences between witchcraft and Wicca. And I will actually talk about that in a later video. Actually, I'm going to film it right after this video and I'll upload it as soon as possible. I will actually be separating this video into two parts, the more traditional way and also the more modern way. Now, the more traditional way is also more based on the 1950s sort of version of Wicca, and it's, I think, a little bit more uncommon these days, but I think it's really important nevertheless. So I'll start with that first, and then I'll talk about the more modern approach as well. And I'll probably leave timestamps below, even though I do think that you should watch the entire thing, just because I think it's actually important. I think it's really great to have at least that kind of foundation for you. Now, the more traditional way, you would probably start with getting to know what Wicca is, and then you would do a year and a day. And what that is essentially you dedicating yourself to studying about Wicca for a year and a day, as the name suggests. Now, in that period, you would learn about the basic things about Wicca, and I have a video on that as well. I'll hopefully leave it somewhere here. I'm not good with YouTube. I'll try. If not, it's in the description box. You would also learn how to meditate, how to make, for example, basic spells, how rituals would work, and such things. So it's great for you to start with a year and a day because you learn so much about Wicca in that period as well. So if you are in a coven, this would also be the time period that you would learn about coven rituals, and you would probably get to know your members a little bit better as well, and just such things. The next step after you have completed a year and a day would be where you would have an initiation ritual or a dedication ritual, and with that it would really, it's a more symbolic thing as with most things, but really essentially what you are doing is you're dedicating yourself to the Wiccan belief system and you're becoming a full-fledged Wiccan. So that, of course, is a more traditional approach, and I don't think it's very necessary anymore. I don't think a lot of Wiccans are still doing the initiation. I did, but I think I'm in general a little bit more traditional. With a dedication ritual, if you are in a coven, they should most likely know what the ritual would be anyway. And if you are solitary, then I advise you can find initiation rituals online or in books. And I'll link some information about that in the description box as well, so do check that out. And yeah, once again, it's not necessary even if you are solitary and even if you are more traditional, but if you do want to do it, then of course feel free to do it. And you can even take the initiation rituals that you find that are more for covens. Sorry, I live in the city, you might hear some random noises in the background. You can then adapt the initiation ritual to your own needs. So that already actually sums up the traditional way. It's, yeah, really quite self-explanatory once you start the a year and a day process. Now, if you are more into the modern path, then there are a couple of things that I still suggest you to do, which definitely are learn, and also just get into it. You know, don't be afraid to try out a spell, to try out a ritual. Now, I really believe in learning as you do. Is that how you call it? I think it is. A few things that you should definitely learn are, of course, the basics of Wicca. Once again, I have a video on that. The basic Wiccan read. You can learn about the different gods and goddesses, you know, the different sabbats, the different moon phases, just the very essential basic things, which you should definitely look up. The next step would be for you to find a path. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos as well. With a path, the best advice I can give you is honestly, if you have something that you are already passionate about, such as, for example, I love crystals. So my path includes a lot of crystal healing. Other people might really like using herbs and, you know, cooking, for example, such things. So that would be incorporated into your path. Or you might really like nature or the seaside. I suggest for you to look up some different paths, and if you connect to any of them, that would probably be the best step for you to take. And then another step that would be really, really great is for you to learning how to meditate or be more mindful. So some people don't like meditation. I still think mindfulness is really, really important, especially in Wicca, and listening to your own intuition, listening to the energies around you, and yeah, those things, you know. And I love this saying, which is magic is in everyday things, and you just have to be more mindful and listen to your intuition and you'll see magic, you know. So, and I'm incorporating that into your everyday, I think, is a great way as well to starting your path on Wicca. Another tip, and I think this is really essential, is for you to write down everything that you learn and everything that you do into your Book of Shadows. And once again, I've made a video about a Book of Shadows as well. Again, it's in the description box. A few other things that you can do is, for example, creating an altar or connecting to different gods and goddesses that you are called towards, you know, and then getting to start working with them. And again, trying out spells, trying out rituals, really, like, even if you think you might have like messed up, you'll learn from it, especially if you write into your Book of Shadows, and then you'll be able to read about it later and be like, oh, that's where I made a mistake. So that's really something that I really suggest you to do. Don't be afraid. And yeah, honestly, the best tips I can say are learn and practice. Just get into it, you know. It sounds really simple, and I understand a lot of people want the step 1, step 2, but honestly the best thing for you to do is just learn, practice, and don't be afraid, and it'll come naturally. So don't worry, you know, don't be scared. And if you have any questions, of course you can message me on my Instagram. I'll leave all the information once again in the description box. And yeah, I think honestly that's already it for this video, but I hope it has all the information, and I hope that you learned something from this video. And yeah, thank you. And also thank you for 8,000 like subscribers. That's crazy to me. I really did not expect that much of like love, so thank you, and I wish you a blessed day, and yeah, see you next time.